What's up, guys? It's Matt, and I'm here with my mobile mechanic, Pnutt, and he's going to show us today how to change the rotors on my 2015 Silverado 1500. My front rotors are warped, and you can tell if your rotors are warped because you'll feel it vibrate when you hit the brake, especially if you're going fast. You feel like it's skipping, and that means your rotors are warped. And it used to be able to get them turned and machined, but it's just as easy and cheap these days to just go ahead and replace them.
I agree.
And he's going to show us how to do that. He's a mobile mechanic here in the Indianapolis area. So if you guys got some work you need done on your vehicles, what's your email address?
Pnutt1110@gmail.com.
All right. So go ahead and hit him an email if you guys need a mobile mechanic. He's reliable and he's affordable and he knows what he's doing. So let's get to it. All right, so obviously the first thing you're going to do is take the wheel off. He's got it jacked up already. Hopefully you know how to do that.
Yeah, because if you can't jack it up and take the wheel off, then you don't need to be under the wheel. All right. Tie you there.
All right, there's my rotor. You obviously aren't going to really be able to tell if it's warped, but you'll feel it when you're driving.
All right.
So next you're going to need to get your caliper off.
Well, yep, we're going to take the caliper off so we can get the brakes out of there and move it out the way.
By the way, we're also going to go ahead and change the brake pads while we're in here. I say we, I mean he.
All right.
So you got a, was that a quarter inch?
Yep, we got a 3/4 inch socket.
Or 3/4 inch, not quarter. Yeah, 3/4 inch socket. Get those bolts out of the back.
Right. And right now, I'm about to just move the piston back on the caliper. Just
let me show what you're doing there if I can.
right through these holes
You're
here.
going to come around that way.
And it's a double piston.
So you're pushing it back, so
Yeah.
loosen this up.
Loosen it up so it can be
There you
free
go.
like this to come on out of there.
There you go. So you just took 2 bolts, 3/4 inch bolts off the back,
Yep.
off your caliper.
And here you go. Here's your caliper, double pistons. They're not out as far, so the brakes is not really that bad.
Yeah, these have been changed not that long ago. You did them,
Oh yeah, that's right.
but I didn't do the back ones last time.
Okay. I say since we got to change the rotors anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and put the new pads on there because if the rotor is warped, so it's doing this to the brake pad, so it's gonna have a warp groove on the brakes. So you want everything to be smooth at the same time when you're putting this back in here.
So you're really going to want to put new pads on when you change your rotor.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm gonna go ahead and push these pistons back. My old trusty rusty C-clamp here.
So you just put the old pad on there just to have a base, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Tighten it up with your C-clamp, and that'll push them caliper pistons back in.
Yep. Exactly.
Because your new pads are going to be a lot thicker, right? So,
Yep.
so they're not going to fit on there with your calipers sticking out that much. He's basically pushing those pistons back in. This is kind of the trick of doing these, guys. You're going to go to put this back on and be like, ain't fitting. It's because your calipers are sticking out too much. And you can't just push them back in by hand. You're really going to have to use something. And this is the best way.
There we go. So now we back in, even with the rubber. So we all smooth and ready to go. So now I got to get this caliper bracket off.
That's your bracket there that holds on your caliper.
Yeah, this is the bracket here. It looks a little rusty, so I'm gonna run and go get the WD-40 and spray it down real quick. Or some PB Blast, depending on which I have in back of my truck.
Just some anti-seize stuff, right?
Yeah.
Some penetrating oil.
Your bolt is here. I wish we had more light.
I can see pretty good with the camera, but
okay. So your bolt is here. You have one here, and then you have one down towards the bottom.
Yep.
So what it is, it screws into your bracket. Your bracket have threads, so your bolts will screw in there. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and lube that up real quick. I'm not caring about wetting up the rotor because this is not what we're gonna use.
you would care if it was a new rotor.
It was
you don't want to get it all wet.
Exactly.
Greasy.
No kind of greasy substance. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and let that sit there for a little bit. Okay.
All right, so while we're waiting for that to set in, that penetrating oil, we're gonna go ahead and cock the wheel to the left, like you're turning left, to pull it out to him, to turn that bracket towards him, so he can get to it a little easier.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right. So now the penetrating oil set in, the wheels are cocked towards him. He's using a nice long
breaker
bar so that he got some leverage to really, because these things might be hard to turn for you guys, so be prepared for that. Once you get him loose, go back to his regular socket wrench.
And there you go. There you go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right here.
You see that bracket's already coming loose because that bottom bolt's out. Just gotta get the top one out.
There we go.
Bracket's off. All right, so next to get the rotor off after you get the bracket off is, what is that, a little torque?
It's a torque screw in here, flathead torques. There we go.
Let me see the head on that. What is it? Okay, so it's got that star torque shape. There you go.
There we go.
Rotor come right off.
That's it.
Almost like you beat it off.
Yeah.
All right, so here's our new rotor. Brand spanking new. Looks nice.
Very nice.
You've also got some spray cleaner. Recommend using some brake cleaner.
This here help get rid of any unwanted grease or oily substance. You definitely don't want that because the brakes will not hold on to that. And you won't be able to stop. So when you're buying things from the store, you want to make sure you do the extra steps to make sure you're safe. All right. So, okay. This is the hole I want to go there.
For that torque screw, right? You got to line that up.
Yep. They got different eyelets.
Yeah.
So you can go either way. But the pattern I seen on the old one was these two holes sitting next to each other, and that's where I took it from on the old one.
So you're gonna put it back the same way?
Put it back
okay.
The exact same way.
We're getting a little bit of rain.
Yep. Just a little bit.
And it's starting to get dark on us. There's a beautiful sunset.
Torque bit.
My bad.
This torque bit is a T30.
A T30 torque bit. Okay, so that's what you took that out with.
Yeah. It don't have to be stupidly tight. That torque in there because you got your bracket and your brakes when you stop to hold it on. So
Right.
I'm going back on with the bracket now.
All right. Same way it came off.
Same way it came off. Correct the mundo, my friend. There we go. Good. I forgot to tell you, I charge extra for working in the rain.
Oh. you should have told me, because that would have been a deal breaker.
No, I'm just kidding with you. You know what? We got one more tire to go, so we almost there. Go ahead and use my hand. You know what? Speed it up a little bit. I'm happy with that. There we go. Now, I got to get my brakes. Put in here. What do I do with them?
All right, got your new pads. You're going to put a little bit of brake grease. Is that what it's called?
Yep, synthetic brake grease.
Synthetic brake grease.
Yep. This right here, it stops your brake squeals. So
All
if
right.
you get new brakes and your brakes are squealing, it's because your mechanic not used brake grease.
Okay. Apply liberally to the brake pad.
Uh-oh. That right there is the extra sheen that help protect the brakes. The back part of your brakes. So you want to definitely keep that on there.
But there's
It
sometimes,
just clip on.
Yeah, there's sometimes little
Yeah,
loops.
it's
'cause they
just clip on.
Yep.
See, look. All right. And I'm doing this pad in a circular motion because your pistons from your caliper is going to hit there.
So you're basically rubbing it on in the pattern that the calipers make on there anyway.
Yeah, for this side. And then you go ahead and slide that back in this slot. Like so. And then this one here, I'm going to do it in the pattern of the front part of the caliper. You see how you got these three lips here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely want to get that.
So right where the bracket's going to hold
Yeah.
it, or the
So-
caliper's going to hold it
So
on.
that way it'll stay in place, so when you apply your brakes, it won't shift.
Okay.
No way. There we go. Now your brakes is installed. Now it's time to get the caliper back on. Go ahead and get your screws back in. Three-quarter socket. And there we go. Now all we gotta do is straighten the wheel back up, get the tire back on, jack it down, and apply the same steps to the other side. And then you always want to go crisscross pattern when you tighten your lugs back up. That way you're getting them tightened evenly. Go up. And what I like to do is to take out my breaker bar and tighten down the lug some more, because I do not trust battery operated power.
Right.
You never know when it's going to get, weak, and then it's not tight
Yeah.
enough,
You
Or
can
have
also
that
just
torque.
use like a torque wrench and actually
Right.
measure the torque you want on there. But
Right.
if you're an experienced mechanic, you can do it with one of these.
Been doing this since I was about 7. Started off with my daddy.
When you was about the same size as that breaker bar?
Yeah. There you go. Front brakes and rotors. All right.
All right, there you guys go. Pnutt hooked us up with some new rotors, some new brakes, and we ready to roll out. If this helped you, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below. If you guys need help with your vehicle and you live in the Indianapolis area, again, what's that email?
Pnutt1110@gmail.com.
All right, hit Pnutt up, and like I said, he's a mobile mechanic, so he's gonna come to you. Makes it really convenient. You ain't gotta have your car towed. So thanks a lot, guys, for checking us out. Hope it helped you out. We'll see you guys all next time.
Peace.
Peace. Using a jack stand on this one?
Yeah, just for the video.
Oh. It's gonna be in the video now. It's gonna be in the video now. You saying that?
Well, you shouldn't have said that.
All right. I'll put it in the. I'll put it in the outtakes at the end. The bloopers.
It ain't gonna never come off. You know why?
Why?
Because your rotor have a screw in it.
All right, we'll edit that out.
Yep. Your rotor have a screw in it with a torque head right here.
Rotor come right off.
That's it.
Almost like you beat it off.
Yeah.